What's up, world? Welcome to my first YouTube channel. Channel. Video. This is awkward, interesting, but yeah, let's see how this goes. So we were all created to do something, obviously. None of us really knows what we are meant to be doing. Some of us live our lives never knowing what we're supposed to be doing. For some weird reason, I am at that point where I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, yet I feel this is what I'm meant to be doing. And I think we all on that. No, I wouldn't even say all. I think most of us has gotten that sort of revelation or realization, in a sense, to where your work doesn't feel like it's work. And this is part of my journey where, even though speaking to a camera, looking into a little small dot, even though I can see myself in a side view, yet I'm not looking at myself, it's awkward, it's weird. It is my first video for this channel, and partly why the channel is called Let's See How This Goes is because let's see how this goes. I'm personally wanting to create a community to not just talk, but also whatever I say may even help someone in the process of just talking. Yes, there are going to be a lot of uhs and ums and so on and so forth, but bear with me. I may edit. I may let this be a unedited version due to it being my first video, or shall I say my pilot for what's to come, and also just to introduce myself. So yeah, let's see how this goes. All. My name is Taz. I've been through life pretty hard, say in the last 10-15 years. Most of us has been through a lot harder, and I'm not saying that to make myself feel better, but it's the actual truth. I'm grateful I still have a roof over my head. I'm still able to feed myself, and that's all through the grace of God. I've had my challenges with God. Most of us don't even believe in God. I've been there. I've been at that point where it's like, how much more do I have to thank you and praise you and still not see anything come through in my favor? But little did I know, I was always protected and always looked after through the grace of God, and still disobeying Him. I mean, having a phone where I'm able to record myself, firstly, is a blessing. Most of us can sort of relate to that, where I grew up in the 90s. Back then, none of this was at at our fingertips, let alone the internet in most parts of the world. So yeah, it's a journey altogether that I've seen not just change but evolve in many ways. And I mean, today's day and age, we take a lot of things for granted, especially the technology we have, and how we not just abuse it, but we misuse, or we neglect what we have, and on top of that still complain. The world's changed so fast in the last 5 years. Gee whiz. And not able to acknowledge it, it's quite sad for us if we don't acknowledge how fast the world's changed and still changing. That said, there's a lot I want to talk about how the world has evolved itself into where it is at this stage. We were primitive centuries ago, where electricity wasn't even heard of. Now we touch something on a wall and there's light. And that something is a switch that 100 years ago was a miracle, that a switch could do that. Where it took a few movements just to get light. So it's crazy to see how everything's evolved. On the side of medicine too. I mean, we were all given medicine on earth, and all of a sudden now we need to go to a doctor to get prescriptions and diagnosis of what they say, because they studied these things, where we all been given the ability to diagnose ourselves, yet we rely on doctors because they studied the human body, or as a GP they studied a specific sections, not specialized in the whole body. They studied little bits to give them the understanding of what it is that they need to know to diagnose. I mean, no one or no doctor has ever spoken about medicine as food. No doctor has even wanting to speak about that food can heal. And it all depends on what type of food and how you feed yourself, and what hours of the day to feed yourself. It's quite sad that we've gotten to this point, and we now rely on doctors to give us what we were born to already know how to look after ourselves. But the world's gotten into this place where fast food's taken over our lives, and so on and so forth. But that's another story all on its own, because with how we've been put into needing to work to create funds to survive or to live off, it's made our time very short to know how to, or to make it convenient, where I'm too tired to cook at the end of the day, or I didn't have time to prepare my meal before I went to work. A lot of people, they starting to work a little smarter, where they put a whole lot of food into a slow cooker and go to work, and then at the end of the work day they come home and do a little bit of things just to finish off the meal. It takes about 5-10 minutes, and then they eat. Most people don't have that luxury, or they don't want to eat that way, and that is all good and well. We all have our choices on how we want to live and what we want to do with our lives. Yet we always overlook that feeding ourselves isn't just to fill our stomach, it's to medicate at the same time. Fasting is another thing that not many people want to acknowledge, because it's hard as a concept not to eat. Yet again, fasting is part of healing your body, healing your gut, your intestines, your brain. There's so much that fasting does. Dry fasting, wet fasting, those sorts of things, they all have their positives. Not all people can fast. Women, not being sexist, but women shouldn't really fast how men fast. Those sorts of things, where I can go on about that, but not in this video. But if you do like what this video sort of brought to your attention, or if you've gone in or listened to this video to this point, I just want to create a community where we could talk, we could help each other out without it costing you anything to voice your opinion, anything negative or positive. Bring it on. This is, like I said, this is my first video. A lot of ums and ahs, because I'm not used to firstly recording myself, because it's so weird. But I do feel that given this voice and the knowledge that I've gained throughout my time, I'm able to help someone, and that's all I want to do, is just to help someone without asking for money, without before I carry on, this is a disclaimer. I am no doctor. I've done a whole lot of research. Majority of the things that I speak about is online. Actually, all the things that I've spoken about in this video is online already, about health, about fasting, about food as medicine, those sorts of things. But also, there's so much books that no one's even, well, I wouldn't say no one, but we've moved away from this hard copy that not many people even do read these days, because their lives are filled with so much things just to keep the roof over their head And at the end of the day, they're too tired to inform themselves on how to properly look after themselves, because they've worked so hard and all they want to do is relax, unwind, and do nothing, which is understandable. The world can do that to you. But yeah, it's all about needing or wanting to inform and create a community where we can all bring our troubles to and have a conversation, or learn something new that you didn't know before. I've got a lot of stories. I've got a journey that could potentially help someone that is most likely or potentially has been or going through what I've been through, and what I may share may help them along their journey. So yeah, mainly wanting to uplift everyone in this challenging time of life, where the worlds are just changing in such a crazy way, and not knowing how to go through life. This could be the channel for you. Hence again, let's see how this goes. But thanks for your time. Thanks for hearing. If you do like where this channel could take us, subscribe. I may do a video once a week. I'll see how that goes. I could be 2 to 3 times a week. We'll see how it goes. But if anyone hears this video, thank you so much for listening, and I shall see you in the next one.